The moment you make a bad decision, your brain immediately starts rewriting history so you don't have to feel bad about it. Think about the last time you spent money you shouldn't have, or stayed in a situation way longer than you should have, or did something you knew was wrong, and then somehow convinced yourself it was actually fine. You probably came up with like 5 reasons to justify it, right? Maybe you still believe those reasons, but here's what's actually happening. That wasn't logic. That was your brain doing psychological damage control. And the scary part? It happens automatically. You don't even know it's happening. There's a name for this. And once you understand it, you'll never see your own mind the same way again. In 1957, a psychologist named Leon Festinger introduced the concept of cognitive dissonance. The name sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. Your brain hates conflict. Specifically, it hates when what you do doesn't match what you believe about yourself. So when there's a gap between those two things, your brain experiences genuine psychological discomfort, almost like a mental alarm going off. And it will do anything to make that alarm stop. The word dissonance literally means two things clashing that shouldn't clash, like a musical note that sounds wrong. And your brain, being the comfort-seeking machine it is, needs to resolve it. Fast, the easiest way? Not to change what you did. That's already done. Instead, change what you believe. Festinger ran a famous experiment. He paid some people $1 to do an incredibly boring task, just turning pegs in a board over and over, and then asked them to tell the next participant that the task was actually really fun. Essentially, he paid them to lie. Then he asked them afterward, was the task enjoyable? Here's where it gets wild. The people paid $1, the ones who basically lied for almost nothing, said the task was actually kind of fun. The people paid $20 still said it was boring. Why? Because the people paid $20 had a reason to lie. The money, easy, no conflict. But the people paid just $1 couldn't justify it with money, so their brain did something else. It changed their actual memory and opinion of the task to resolve the conflict. They needed to believe they weren't a liar for basically nothing, so their brain made them genuinely enjoy the memory of that boring peg task. That is your brain rewriting reality in real time. This shows up everywhere in your life, and you probably don't notice it. You buy expensive headphones you didn't need. Immediately after buying them, research shows you seek out positive reviews of that product. You avoid the negative ones. Your brain is protecting the decision, making you like the thing more after you bought it, not less. You stay in a friendship or relationship that's bad for you. To justify staying, your brain starts downplaying the red flags. They didn't mean it like that. It's actually not that bad. At least they're loyal. Those aren't rational assessments. That's dissonance resolution. You eat something unhealthy when you're trying to eat well. The classic response? One day won't matter. I'll start fresh Monday. I needed the energy. These feel like reasonable thoughts. They're not. They're your brain's cleanup crew, quietly erasing the gap between who you think you are, a healthy person, and what you just did. The researcher Joel Cooper put it this way: cognitive dissonance is basically your brain's immune system for your self-image. It attacks threats to how you see yourself and neutralizes them, whether the threat is real or not. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. This is one of the reasons people stay in genuinely harmful situations way too long. Because every time you stay, every day, every week, your brain re-justifies it. The longer you stay, the more your brain has to justify, and the more entrenched the rationalization becomes. It's also why confronting someone with facts rarely changes their mind and can actually make them more committed to their original position. This is called the backfire effect. New information that contradicts a belief creates discomfort, so instead of updating the belief, the brain attacks the new information. Politicians do this. Brands use it on you. Create a tiny commitment, sign up for free, and dissonance does the rest. You feel invested, so you justify continuing. The key insight from Festinger: it's not that people are stupid or stubborn, they're just human. The brain isn't built for truth. It's built for consistency. So what do you do with this? You can't turn off cognitive dissonance. It's baked in. But knowing it exists is genuinely powerful. The next time you catch yourself building a case for a decision you've already made, especially a bad one, pause, ask yourself, am I reasoning forward or am I rationalizing backward? Because there's a difference between thinking clearly and thinking in self-defense mode. Now that you know what's happening, you can tell the two apart. That's a skill most people never develop. If someone you know is justifying something they probably shouldn't be, send this to them. And if this happened to you recently, drop it in the comments. I want to see how common this actually is.